Morning, Internet land. It is 2 days after the Kentucky Wood Expo. And I went down and competed at their lumberjack competition. And I really kind of just wanted to put my thoughts onto a record to sort of go back and look at. Um, I'm sitting here in Rio Grande. You can see the locals will know that's the windmill. We have our shootout half a mile that way. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about the event overall, more so my results doing it. But overall, it's a pretty good event. I'm glad the Duncans were able to have their hands in it, and it's exciting to see Sam do so well, especially at an event that his dad was successful at. So, uh, most people that know me know I'm not big into the manual events. I appreciate them. I think they're neat, but that's not sort of my cup of tea. I want to focus on the chainsaw. So anytime I go to a big race, especially some of these older races have been around a long time, and they do like 3-5 hot saw and bike saw, and then cross cut and Jack and Jill and under hop, and that's just, to me, that ends up being a lot of waiting around, and that's just a me thing. So in any case, I liked it. It was a good event. They put it on well. I'm glad they had a successful race. So I went and competed in the 3 cube, 5 cube, both of those being stock appearing, so no pipes. Covers have to be in place, but otherwise you can run heads, you can run alcohol, you can run square chain with all the chassis work you can imagine. I also ran in the hot saw, which I'm not positive on how the rules work for that class. I don't know if there's a displacement cap. I think it's different for most races. I've heard some races do 120 cc, some do 140, some don't do a displacement limit at all. Some will do muffler versus pipe. So I showed up with my stock bore and stroke Chinese 3120 clone that I've done. I've posted some videos online here and there lately about that saw. And then I also competed in stock saw, and I took fourth in stock saw, so I got in the money there. But so here's my overall thoughts about how I did. Going into this race, I had picked up a square grinder, a new one, a Symington 451, a week and a half before this race. So thanks to some really great help from a person who I won't mention his name because he asked me not to, I was able to get a grind on a couple of chains that I feel like gave me an advantage I didn't have before. If you've been watching my videos a long time, you'll know that I have an Ethan Trainer race chain. Fantastic chain, but it can only take so many hits. A square race chain can only take so many hits on a log before it needs touched up, and so I was glad to be able to get more chains that I could touch up with my own profile, and Ethan's been helpful through that whole process as well. But in any case, I showed up this weekend not knowing. I knew it was tulip poplar, but we were racing an 8x8, so I showed up with an aggressive grind on it, and the chains did better than I was hoping. I was expecting them to honestly make 3 cuts and be just rolled edges and dull, and because tulip poplar is not the hardest wood, but it's not like racing in white pine either. So my chains held up well. I feel like they did much better than I was hoping for. They were aggressive, they were fast, they didn't bog if you pushed on it too hard, except for my 3 cube. But I think that's more motor than chain, and frankly, that chain was probably too much for that motor. So I'm really happy with my first event on chains that I've square ground with an honest effort. I'm largely happy with how my motors went. I was back in all 3 of those saws this past week. I tried converting the 3 cube to nitro, which has been a humongous headache for me. I hate messing around with nitro. Carbs are so much more fickle than motors. And if you try to convert a carb to nitro, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a huge headache. But in the process of trying to do that, 2-3 weeks ago, I found that the intake block was leaking real bad. So strip the whole thing back down, re-epoxy things, go back over stuff, fix a couple of things. And honestly, I put it on the end of the workbench and forgot about it. I just was that frustrated with it. But I had done a carb that would idle and start to take throttle on a healthy blend of nitro, but it wouldn't run. It was lean. It would have blown up. So pushed it to the side, started working on a 2165 head saw, which the top end that I had, but I redid an intake block for it and pushed hard, but I couldn't. Come Thursday, I was close, but it just wasn't going to be ready. So I grabbed my 475 back off the shelf and Decided to go through it, push exhaust duration quite a bit more. The port time area raised it, um, and was really and it's still on gas, but ran it. And honestly, I think I could probably step up a rim size. Watching the video during the race, I came off the can and thought, man, I really was pushing on that thing and it liked it, which usually is an indication to step up in rim. Going back and watching the video, I'm not sure that that's true. Maybe I'm gonna have to do some testing with it, but I don't have another race that's legal for until probably Chardon. So, but made a move in the right direction on it, and I think I can probably get it flowing on alcohol now. That I've ruined a few hundred carbs and done a lot of testing and screwing up. So, but the 3120 clone, that's the big one on my radar right now. That's the one I most cared about how it performed, because this year at Solfest is the first year for the 3120 880 class in the Clone Wars, and I'm nervous about it, largely because I want to do well. I want to be competitive. I want to try to earn my keep. Maybe there's something of feeling like an underdog and wanting to prove my motors can hang with the big guys. So I've worked hard on it a lot. I've had the 880 done for a couple of months, sort of as a backup, knowing that the 880 as it sits probably isn't going to win or even take top 5 in that class. So, but my 3120, I wouldn't really call it a race build. There are aspects of it that are racy, but it's a stock bore and stroke, stock Chinese piston. There's no head on it. I didn't cut the cylinder. It's got a band cut. But the 3120s have been proven to have some gumption, some get up and go with just a basic band cut. And for this year, I wanted to just do a simple band cut, get the pipe on it, get the ignition system sorted out, get the fueling sorted out. Maybe next year I go back and do a really hot top end with blocks and head and all that jazz. But in any case, right now it has a scooter pipe on it that has been featured on many of my saws. And I have a dedicated built pipe coming for it. I'll have to roll it and weld it and do all that jazz. But it, with my square grind chain, to be honest, I feel like I let it down this weekend at Kentucky Wood Expo. I've gone back with the coach's app and timed out, and I wasted 2 seconds on cold start. I wasted at least 3/4 a second, if not a whole second, on that first transition. I didn't get down far enough. I didn't get over far enough. And so, I mean, if you take those away, and this is bench racing, it's stupid, but we all do it. That bumps me up quite a bit. And considering it's a gas saw that doesn't have a head, doesn't have the right pipe on it, although it clearly likes that pipe, I think I'm feeling better about that saw. I'm not feeling good about my chances operating it. I need to practice a lot more. I thought I had, and this is why I mentioned earlier that I'm not big on the manual events. I got out of rhythm by the time we got around to hot saw, because it was the last class of the day. So they finally call it. They've done the bikes, they've done the axes, they've done the cross cuts, and okay, so sitting out in the 90-degree heat all day, finally got ready to do the class I really wanted to run. I was really most anxious for, and go up, get the saw warmed up. Okay, cool, everything's going good. It's starting first pull like it's supposed to. It's cold starting, yada yada. All right, so I get up on the stand. They call my name. Go through my whole procedure. Do a couple of blind transitions, get myself lined up, get my feet stable, get my hips wide, lock that saw into your groin so that you've got power over it and you can move it stably using your big muscles. And I go and I set it down, get my hands on the log, my high idle set, kill switches in the right position, handles in the right position, and 3, 2, 1, go. And I reach down out. This video will be at the end of it, but at some point in my warm-up, the rope had come out of the pulley and looped itself over and tied a knot. And so, they yelled 3, 2, 1, go. I fobbled getting to the handle in the first place. Gave it a pull, the handle came clean off. Saw it didn't start. And that just, so it's like, okay, run off. Sam was great. Sam handed me a starter. He said, here, throw it on real quick, make a hit. So got out my trench, swapped starters, got back up there. But I was already just so inside my own head, and psyched myself out. I just completely ruined my own rhythm. And I don't know. I mean, that's just the nature of competition. It's as much what's in here as it is what's in your hands and your ability to prepare. So I was able to make a run. I was able to put a time up, see how it would compete. The saw would compete with other, honestly, some of the best. There were LB motors there. There were some really hot saws there. So I feel good about my chances with that at Sawfest. We'll see what shows up though. It's China clones. I know Egan has posted about working on one. I don't know if I know there's some other guys showing up that are really good builders that are going to have stiff competition. So my hope is in preparation, and that ultimately is my big takeaway from this past week is preparation is key. You know, you have to practice, you have to prepare, you have to know exactly. Yeah, your movements need to be second nature, especially in those big, fast saws. You've got to know where and what and when and why. You've got to spend time preparing your chains. You've got to spend time testing. You got to make sure your motors are happy and they're going to start and they're going to run. You got to know sort of where their load limits are. Truthfully, I think in the cut, that's how you get time, you know, apart from motor and chain, is pushing the right amount. Not over pushing, not pulling your RPM down too hard, but feeding it enough that it's going to maximize the efficiency of your chain. So that's my big takeaway from this past weekend. It's you're not as prepared as you think you are. Spend more time, do more preparation work. You can be happy with your motors and your chains all you want. If you aren't preparing to do, you know, the operation, then you're letting down your motors and your chains like I did this past weekend. So to wrap it up, I had a great time. Got to spend time with friends. I love being around saws. I love being around saw competitions. I had a great time. Sam, Melissa, fantastic job putting on an event. And I mean, I'll be back. And hopefully Sawfest is my next race. I'm going to be more prepared to stand up on that cant and sling those saws. So here's my runs from this past weekend. You can watch them and judge me as harshly as you'd like.
Contestants ready. 3, 2, 1, go! 3, 2, 1, go!